Here's our top 3 headlines for the week. Malaysia sets foot on International FIFA and PES. Valorant releases Act 2, resetting ranks, more sleepless nights. League of Legends European Championship in Saudi Arabia running on thin ice. You're watching Prime Live, bringing you only the best of esports entertainment. My name is Keith, taking you across what you might have missed out all last week. Okay, kicking it off with the headlines of the day. Malaysia showing off in a global fashion. Now, I know Malaysia has never really found much success, if any at all, when it comes to football, right? Because let's be real, we barely make it out of the Asian qualifiers whenever the World Cup comes around. But this isn't the same case with eFootball. Proudly enough, esport athletes Ahmad Maul Muaz and Ahmad Dragon Yazid actually put Malaysia on the map during the recent Pro Evolution Soccer World Cup by Konami themselves. They were the first few born and bred Malaysians to have ever represented a nation in this tournament alone, and although it wasn't a championship title which they brought home, but reaching the semifinals on a global scale, come on, it's kind of a big deal. Now, Maul finished with a $7,500 in winnings. Meanwhile, Yazid, who, by the way, lost to the eventual runner-up in the group stage, walked home with a mere $2,000. Now, things definitely would have been much brighter for Muaz, of course, as he would have been able to secure himself a ticket to play in one of the world-renowned stadiums in Europe. But I'm pretty sure you know where I'm headed with this, because COVID-19 happened, right? Canceling plans since 2020. Now, in other related news, our Malaysian FIFA Pro Clubs team qualified for the FIFA World Cup 2021 after defeating United Arab Emirates with a scoreline of 2-0 in the grand finals of the VPG Asian Cup 2020 last Sunday. This is an exceptional achievement. Why? Because pro clubs, they're different. They are involving 11 players playing at a time in a team, which means they will need monstrous amount of chemistry and teamwork, unlike any other esports title out there. Now, moving into the more FPS scene, talking about Valorant, of course. The brand new game comes out with a brand new agent, and it's going to be a killjoy in the most literal sense possible. What am I talking about? A brand new Valorant agent has recently made it into headlines as it prematurely made its way into the public's eye through the Valorant's official website. Now, this happens many times, right? Time and time again, developers make mistakes, which then is caught by the community, which is then spread like wildfire on the internet. And now we know that Valorant will be having a character named Killjoy. She possesses this special ability to summon turrets, kind of like Torbjorn in Overwatch, or the engineer from Team Fortress 2. And now that I think about it, the leak felt almost intentional in some sense, right? Like it actually showcased her skill sets in a short video, along with short descriptions of what she is like as a playable character. And in other words, like look at it from the outside point of view. I get it. Working with codes can be cut and dry. And quite frankly speaking, mistakes are bound to happen. But this felt almost like a full-fledged release made natural, if that makes any sense. So coincidence? I think not. One thing's for sure though, new characters always makes the game way more exciting, and I can't wait to see what Killjoy brings new into the meta alongside Act 2 of Valorant. Speaking of which, Act 2 is bringing in some ranked and competitive changes. Ranking systems of the game will be coming with multiple changes and a rank reset for all. Is that good news or bad news? I don't know. Have you spent countless of sleepless nights on it? If so, then unfortunately, it's something you're going to have to do all over again. According to what was officially stated, ranking will now be determined by 9 of your best ranked wins of the act, and how many wins you've gotten in the act will be another factor that's taken into consideration. This way, only your highest rank will be remembered even if you somehow drop to the lower tiers. This comes with a further improved ranking tier that is said to improve the competitive experience and, of course, ensure a more balanced gameplay. If you're still not convinced, checking your friend's match history is going to be an added feature to allow players to peek at their peers' rank and overall act rank progress, which means You cannot cheat anyone. The history says it all. Numbers don't lie. Even more good news, all prior act rank will be saved and locked in the career tab beginning of Act 2, which also means rank placement, on the other hand, will now take 3 matches instead of 5 and will not affect your act rank. So if you've ever wanted to play a brand new style and lose a couple of matches, now's as good as the time as it will ever be. Now, we may be months away from December, but Christmas came early, at least with the release of Season 1, HyperScape. It is the end of the anticipation as HyperScapes will be kicking off their first season on the 11th of August. And to make things even more official, they are shutting it down, at least for all the beta servers out there, on the 2nd of August at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Now, but if there's anything I know about game releases in all my 24 years of living, it is that it's usually worth the wait. Right? I'm talking about multitude of brand new contents, the new introduction to their seasonal battle pass, 11 new guns, and 11 new power-ups with the brand new limited time game mode upon Season 1 release. For the more immersed gamers out there, the lore entitled Memory Share will unlock backstories about the playable champions, and through stories comes Easter egg. We all love that. The Season 1 Battle Pass will allow players to unlock things like extra features and cosmetics, and players can actually grind out through earning in-game currencies for the purchase instead of actually paying the 45 ringgit to get it.
Headshot! It's not over yet.
This is it. Time to party!
Moving into more shocking things happening across the globe, Mobile Legends coming soon into India? Now, when one door closes, another one opens. That's at least what the English proverb says. This time round, though, that door happens to be all the way in India, as Mobile Legends Bang Bang, the esports title, becomes available in the region. Now, India, a little thing or two about the place. They are notoriously known for the blocking of access of over 59 different Chinese apps in the Google Play Store and App Store due to the rising tension between the two countries. So, believe it or not, as cringeworthy as the Indian TikTok scene is, it's got a massive audience. Huge following, I acknowledge that. But that being said, though, TikTok was banned for over a month alongside apps like Clash of Kings and Mobile Legends. Now, the question is, why does this happen? Well, much like the rest of the world up against Facebook right now, the Indian government is just not happy with the Chinese tech companies regarding their data sharing policies, which, let's be honest, is low-key a national threat towards user rights. So, with questionable policies in play and a little bit of paranoia, it makes sense why India decided to drop that ban hammer, blocking potentially 300 million gamers in India alone. In fact, as we speak, Mobile Legends creators Munton is working tirelessly around the clock to lift the ban, but alas, no official news has been said just yet. But of course, tell the people to do one thing, they'll do the exact opposite. The die-hard gamers actually found ways around the issue through the downloads of APK versions of the game, which, by the way, is not recommended. If you're thinking about it, don't do so, as it comes with many potential security risks. Moving on to the European side of things, Team OG is back to claim their third Aegis with Seb. Third time's the charm with OG as they reunite with their two-time winner, TI winner, actually Seb, to solidify the current 2020 lineup. Apparently, having one of the best mid players in the scene, Sumail, doesn't really mean you make the best team. Okay, it doesn't translate into different positions as much, and OG's run with Sumail was nothing but short-lived with the deteriorating results as the years go on. So, in hopes for a better outcome, the team will be moving on with mid one, Thompson, Seb, Saksa, and No-Tail to complete their 2020 roster. Nevertheless, it's not personal. It's just business. The organization does acknowledge Sumail as still one of the better players in the scene and bids its farewell. But let's be real. Somewhere deep down inside, we're all hoping for another EG versus OG beatdown. Sumail and Fly against No-Tail and, well, Seb playing on opposite sides. So, talking about the hottest thing in Southeast Asia right now, PUBG Mobile. Qualcomm Technologies sponsoring the World League. So recently in the PUBG Mobile World League, they welcomed the wireless company called Qualcomm Technologies as their presenting sponsors. The partnership was put on display during the PMWL Season 0, which came into inception due to the pandemic crisis, and James Yang, the director of PUBG Mobile Global Esports himself, said in the release, and I paraphrase, essentially, Qualcomm Technologies is going to be the strategic partner in launching the platform onto a 5G space. This is a big deal. Why? Because 5G is another level of internet. It's a way faster platform to be playing on. So, talking like a game like FPS, PUBG Mobile, Battle Royale, and all these things, speed does matter. Now, despite the nature of the online tournament being way too short, though, Season 0 has got a fairly lofty prize pool of up to 850,000 US dollars. Next up, having choices. Nice to have, not really fun to make, especially if that question is where to eat. But what if I told you that you can have the best of both worlds? Because that apparently is the case for Netflix series Money Heist and Garena as they're teaming up for the fans. No longer do you have to choose between binge watching a Netflix series or playing games because Garena Free Fire is teaming up with Netflix to bring you a brand new mode called Plan Bermuda. In fact, they are going all in with this takeover, which includes a revamp of the current Bermuda map, a brand new 4v4 mode where players race against the clock in collecting banknotes, and diving into the aesthetic side of things, this crossover will also bring forth brand new classic outfits that are from the actual series itself. Okay, we're talking about red jumpsuits and the iconic mask itself. Not much of a Free Fire kind of guy, I gotta be honest, but I have to say this. The partnership makes me a wee bit interested in jumping back onto it. Now, a lot of people got cancelled in 2020, but who would have thought that Saudi Arabia was going to be one of those things that get cancelled, especially in the League of Legends scene. All right, League of Legends developers Riot has called it quits with the partnership they now used to have with Saudi Arabian city Neom. The comedic punchline of the story, of course, lies in the duration of the partnership, which, by the way, is only more or less a day long. How is that for a breakup story? This deal was valued at a 500 US dollar, actually 500 billion US dollar, but Riot had to cauterize the wound as the community fought back, and they fought back hard. This includes the casters and some of Riot's own internal employees themselves due to the Saudi Arabia's violation onto human rights. Riot Games just cannot catch a breath ever since they announced the partnership, and the condemnation keeps on coming in on regards to Saudi Arabia's forced eviction towards the Huwaitat tribe in which Neom was built on. Among other things, the speculation of the Saudi crown prince putting a hit list towards a Washington Post columnist, and the not so popular opinion that the country has towards the LGBTQ community. So I guess Riot Games figured this was just too much work to turn the situation into a good PR standpoint and would rather cut the losses, walk away, and never look back. What's happening in the near future? We'll find out in this Esports Forecast. First up, Malaysia. Mobile Legends Campus Championship 2020 is happening, okay? Registration started on the 1st of August, whereby 14 states will be participating in this tournament alone for a single epic showdown for the prize pool of 58,000 ringgit. Moving on to the Southeast Asian region, we have the PMPL MYSG Season 2. Happening on the 18th of August down to the 27th of September, whereby players from Malaysia and Singapore will be battling it out for a period of 4 weeks long, where only 2 teams will qualify to the PMPL C Final Season 2 and fight for that 150,000 US dollars prize pool. Zooming out onto a more global grand scheme of things, we have first for Dota 2, the ESL 1 Thailand. Happening on the 8th of August down to the 30th, this online competition is going to be featuring 20 teams from 2 divisions, mainly Asia and the Americas, and offers 2 local Thai teams the chance to progress from the ESL Thailand Championship to compete against Asia's top-tier esports team with a total prize pool of up to 200,000 US dollars. Still on the global level, keeping it in Dota 2, we play Pushka League Season 2. Happening on the August of 13th all the way down to the September 13th, this league will be divided into 3 regions: Europe, Americas, and Asia, competing over a prize pool up to 400,000 US dollars. Still, in Dota 2, one more for the road, it's the Omega League.
happening on the 20th of July all the way down to the 6th of September. It is an online tournament with a massive prize pool of up to 550,000 US dollars, which will run from July 20th, which is the date of the beginning of the Open qualifiers, all the way down to the September of 6th, and will include multiple competitive regions and divisions. And finally, shifting over to CSGO, still on an international platform, the ESL1 Cologne 2020. Happening on the 18th of August all the way down to the 30th. This tournament will now be split into 4 regional divisions, Europe, North America, Oceania, and Asia, with a total prize pool of up to 500,000 US dollars. Divided in which Europe takes up 325,000, North America with 135,000 US dollar, Asia and Oceania both taking 20,000 US dollars each. Taking a look at one of the highlights this week, the PMWL East. It was the end of the PUBG Mobile World League 2020 East Super Weekend, and the top 16 teams of the tournament have qualified themselves to the next stage. That is the PMWL East Finals. It has been a 3 weeks of battle royale with 45 games to be played, and the top 3 teams that stood out through the test of time is at first place, Bigatron Red Aliens, earning themselves up to 522 overall points with a total kills of up to 223. Coming in at a close second, Box Gaming with 508 overall points with a total kill of 175. And on the third place, RRQ Athena with a total overall points of up to 496 with 218 kills. Next up, the Western counterpart for the PMWL. As for the Western counterpart, Loops Esports took first place and brought home that 50,000 US dollar share of the entire prize pool. What's surprising about Loops is that they dominated the entire tournament and brought home a top 1 position despite getting a 44 points penalty last week when they refused to shoot down Team Queso. Shady match fixing right there if you ask me, but nevertheless, they got penalized and paid the price. Despite all odds, they still accumulated a total of 544 points, just 77 points ahead of the second place team named Wildcard Gaming. The run isn't over for at least the top 16 teams that qualified in each division as they play up for their division's final next on the 6th of August.
Moving on to the next highlight, we've got Dota 2. Talking about, of course, the DPL CDA Professional League Season 2 that took place on the 24th down to the 26th of July over in China and had a whopping prize pool of up to 1,300,000 renminbi. Congratulations, of course, goes to eHome, Invictus Gaming, and Team Asta for taking the first, second, and third position, respectively.
Ollie? Yeah, he's been caught up on nothing to say. They call it. GG has been called an eHome.
Moving our highlights onto the FPS scene, we've got Valorant on the FPS Thailand Valorant Battle Rage, which took place on the 28th of June all the way down to the 30th of July. It's a tournament that took place all the way in Thailand and had the whooping prize pool of up to 60,000 Thai bahts. And congratulations to the winner, Attack All Round, who sweep Thailand Attitude with a 2-1 victory. Still staying within the range of FPS shooter, CSGO. Talking about, of course, the Eden Arena Malta Vibes Week 5, which by the way took place on the 30th of July all the way down to the 3rd of August and had a prize pool of up to 40,000 US dollars. Yes, it is an international standard tournament, and congratulations to the finalists, Gambit Youngsters, who by the way wiped the floor with Navi Jr. with a 2-0 victory. And that concludes our evening tonight. My name is Keith, once again the host on Prime Live, bringing you only the best of esports. We go live every 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday, so do follow us on socials, both Instagram and Facebook at Prime Live. My name is Keith, signing out.
it.